Sometimes you feel like you've been tossed up on an island someplace, and you're not happy about that either. My name is Irvine Farnsworth Sini. I'm 89 years old. I'll be 90 next May. I grew up in Iowa in a very rural community, and I mean rural. This is tiny country. My mother was a librarian after she left teaching, and she was a librarian for many years, right? That's where our love of books comes from. So she ordered all the books at home and then had them shipped to our house so that she could do the cataloging when they came. And if Dory and I read fast enough, Dory's my sister, if we read fast enough, we could read the books before she put them on the shelves. So we learned to read in a hurry. It was great. People would come into the book and say, look what I've got. And you could look at them and say, oh, I've read that. In the wintertime, of course, it was snow, so we did a lot of ice skating and a lot of sledding, a lot of skiing and that kind of thing. In the summertime, we swam when we could, when it was warm enough. We did a lot of swimming. We lived not far from the lake area, and we would go at the lakes and swim. Or we'd swim in the river, which wasn't very safe and my folks didn't like, so we didn't do a lot of that. But we did a lot of that. We did a lot of hiking. We did a lot of bicycling. And with our biking, my aunt and my cousin and I rode our bikes across the country. Literally, we rode to Boston from Iowa on our bikes, stayed in youth hostels along the way, which was really great and fun. We got to see a lot. We got to do a lot of things. I don't get around much, as you can see. I had an apartment over in the Arbors, and I was up on either the third or fourth floor, and I pulled the door open and stepped to go in the elevator, and the elevator wasn't there, and I stepped and fell half a story down feet first to where the elevator was. Yeah, it was scary. Before that, I could get around, yeah. But among the things that were injured is the nerve that goes down my leg, and my leg doesn't work like it should. But I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't know what I was going into, and here was just all of a sudden this big blank space, and you think, what's next? You get very down in the dumps. Very down. You have days when you just don't even feel like getting out of bed. You think, what's the use? But that doesn't get you any place either. So you just plain have to grit your teeth and do what you can do. Muff, did you get thrown up on the same island? And she pretty well rules the roost. Read or work a crossword puzzle, read the newspaper and work my crossword puzzles and things like that. And then towards noon, there are a couple television shows that I usually tune in on just to hear somebody else talk. Not because I thoroughly enjoy the show, but at least it's somebody else talking. And we do that. And staying busy, I think, is my favorite one. And whatever there is that has somebody around to do something with so that you aren't by yourself all the time. I like that. Did you eat your supper tonight, kiddo? Did you eat your supper? You ate part of it, but you didn't eat all of it. You didn't like that kind? You wanted the other kind, okay. I have several friends that drop by usually. I have two sons. One is Dr. Frank Sini over here at Riverside Hospital, and the other is Rick Sini, who's an accountant with an accounting firm. Well, I talk to both of the boys almost every day. I mean, they telephone. That telephone is a vital part of my existence, and they're good about calling. If they call here and don't get an answer, they get upset. Where'd Mother go? That one right there is my son, and that's his wife. And those are his kids. That's his son's wife. And of course, that's the baby. His name is Oliver. What would ever possess anybody to name a baby Oliver, I'll never know. We have a group that usually eats together. We keep track of what each other's doing, and that's right, your appointment's today. Your appointment is today.
I'd be ready to leave if it weren't for them.
Be your own person. Don't try to be what somebody else wants you to be. Do the thing that you want, but be yourself and do your thing. Not always easy to do.